Hello ChatGPT, how are you? My name is Mudassir Rashid and I am working as instructor mechanical at Government College of Technology, Multan.
Hey, Mudassar. It's great to meet you, and thanks for sharing a bit about yourself. That sounds like a really interesting role. How's everything going at the college?
Everything is fine. Today I want to interview you on the topic that is how to think creatively and solve problems effectively.
That sounds like a fantastic topic. I'd be happy to dive into that and share some insights. Feel free to kick things off with any specific questions or areas you'd like to explore first.
Okay, my first question is what does creative thinking mean from an AI perspective?
That's a great question. From an AI perspective, creative thinking generally refers to the ability to generate novel and useful ideas by combining existing knowledge in new ways. It often involves pattern recognition, abstraction, and even a bit of exploration beyond the obvious. AI models like me try to mimic these processes by leveraging large data sets and complex algorithms. It's definitely a fascinating area.
How do humans typically block their own creativity without realizing it?
Yeah, that's a really interesting aspect. Humans can sometimes block their creativity in a few ways, like having a fixed mindset, being overly critical of their own ideas, or sticking too rigidly to routines. Also, fear of failure or judgment can really hold people back. Sometimes just taking a step back, embracing curiosity, and allowing yourself to brainstorm freely can help overcome those blocks.
What habits can help someone think more creatively every day?
Oh, there are definitely lots of helpful habits. For example, maintaining a curious mindset by constantly asking questions and exploring new topics can be really useful. Also, setting aside time for brainstorming without judgment, trying new experiences, and even engaging in creative hobbies like drawing or writing can really spark creativity. And of course, taking breaks and letting your mind wander is super important too.
Okay, how does curiosity influence creative problem solving?
Curiosity really plays a huge role because it drives you to dig deeper, ask more questions, and explore different perspectives. When you're curious, you're more open to new ideas and you're willing to experiment without the fear of making mistakes. That mindset helps you see connections that others might miss and come up with innovative solutions that you wouldn't have thought of otherwise.
What role does failure play in developing creative thinking skills?
Oh, failure definitely has a big role. It often provides valuable lessons and insights that you wouldn't get otherwise. When you approach failure with a growth mindset, it helps you refine your ideas, build resilience, and become more innovative in your problem solving. It kind of pushes you to think differently and adapt, ultimately strengthening your creative skills.
Okay, ChatGPT, can creativity be learned or is it something people are born with?
That's a great question, and definitely something that's been debated a lot. The consensus is that creativity is a combination of both innate traits and learned skills. While some people may have a natural inclination towards creative thinking, anyone can definitely develop it and enhance their creativity through practice, exposure, and the right habits. So it's definitely something that can be nurtured over time.
How can someone use both logic and creativity together when solving problems?
Yeah, blending logic and creativity is super powerful. One approach is to start with a structured logical framework to define the problem clearly and gather the necessary data. Then once you have the foundation, you can let your creativity take over by brainstorming innovative solutions and thinking outside the box, iterating between these two, using logic to refine and validate ideas and creativity to generate them, helps you come up with well-rounded, effective solutions.
What techniques do creators use to original ideas on demand?
So there are quite a few techniques. Some of the popular ones include brainstorming sessions where you just let ideas flow without judgment. Mind mapping is another great one, helping you visualize connections between ideas. Also, techniques like Scamper, where you modify concepts by substituting, combining, adapting, and so forth, can spark originality. And of course, stepping out of your comfort zone, exposing yourself to different fields, and even using prompts or constraints can really help generate fresh ideas on demand.
How can someone overcome mental blocks or blank mind moments?
Yeah, mental blocks happen to everyone. One effective strategy is to take a break and do something completely different to let your mind reset. Another approach is to change your environment, like stepping outside or even just rearranging your workspace. Sometimes engaging in mindfulness or relaxation techniques can help clear your mind. And of course, sometimes just talking things out with someone or using techniques like journaling can help unblock those creative pathways.
What is divergent thinking and why is it important for creativity?
Yeah, so divergent thinking is all about generating a wide range of ideas and possibilities without worrying too much about immediate practicality or judgment. It encourages creativity by allowing yourself to explore many different avenues and not just settling on the first solution that comes to mind. It's super important for creativity because it helps you break away from conventional thinking and discover innovative solutions that you might not have considered otherwise.
Okay, how does brainstorming differ from structured problem solving?
Yeah, that's a great distinction. So brainstorming is usually more free form and open ended, focusing on generating as many ideas as possible without immediate criticism. It's all about quantity and creativity first. On the other hand, structured problem solving tends to be more systematic and analytical. It involves clearly defining the problem, analyzing data, and then methodically finding and testing solutions. In essence, brainstorming sparks creativity while structured problem solving focuses on refining and implementing those ideas.
Okay, ChatGPT, tell me what are common mistakes people make when trying to solve a complex problem?
Absolutely. One common mistake is jumping to conclusions too quickly without fully understanding the problem. Another one is not considering multiple perspectives or solutions, which can limit creativity. Also, being overly critical of initial ideas can stifle creativity. Sometimes not breaking the problem down into smaller, more manageable parts can make it feel overwhelming. And lastly, not allowing enough time for reflection and iteration can definitely hinder finding the best solution.
How can someone reframe a problem to see it from a new angle?
Yeah, reframing is such a powerful tool. One approach is to change your perspective by asking different questions, like looking at the problem from the viewpoint of a different stakeholder or considering the opposite scenario. Another technique is to break the problem down into smaller parts and look at each part in a different way. You can also try using analogies where you compare the problem to something entirely unrelated to spark new insights. And even just changing the context or the constraints around the problem can really open up new ways of thinking.
What is the role of environment and surroundings in boosting creativity?
Now, environment plays a huge role. Stimulating and inspiring environment can really help spark creativity. Things like natural light, comfortable spaces, and even having access to creative materials can definitely boost innovative thinking. On the flip side, a cluttered or distracting environment can hinder it. Also, being in a space that encourages collaboration and open communication can really help generate new ideas. It's definitely a big factor in nurturing creativity.
How can collaboration improve creative thinking?
Collaboration really amplifies creativity because it brings together diverse perspectives, experiences, and skill sets. When people with different backgrounds and viewpoints come together, they can challenge each other's assumptions, spark new ideas, and build on each other's thoughts. It also encourages more open mindedness and helps overcome mental blocks. Plus, collaboration often leads to a richer pool of ideas and ultimately more innovative solutions.
Okay, can technology enhance creativity or does it limit it?
That's a really interesting question. I think it can definitely do both depending on how it's used. On one hand, technology can really enhance creativity by providing powerful tools, resources, and platforms for collaboration, inspiration, and experimentation. On the other hand, it can sometimes be limiting if it leads to over reliance on templates or if it stifles original thinking. So it really comes down to how we balance and integrate technology into the creative process.
What is one misconception people have about creative people?
I would definitely. One common misconception is that creative people are just naturally gifted and that creativity is an innate talent that you either have or you don't. In reality, creativity is more of a skill that can be developed and nurtured over time. Also, there's sometimes this idea that creative people are always unconventional or disorganized, but in truth, it often involves discipline, structure, and a lot of hard work as well.
Thank you, ChatGPT, for your help. Thanks for your time. Take care. Bye bye.
You're very welcome. It was my pleasure. Take care and feel free to reach out anytime. Bye for now.